Good day, everyone. I am Sheldon Scipio. I am without my wonderful co-host Daniil Laven today, so I'm going to be doing a short by myself. This short is going to be about managers and employees, the balance that needs to be struck. And this is something I wanted to do for approximately 2 or 3 weeks now. Since the social media, LinkedIn, Facebook, is being blasted with why a manager shouldn't micromanage. You have to be a good manager. The manager needs to control the team. The manager needs to motivate. I would like to say firstly, I agree 100% with all of those posts, with all of those points. But I would like to caveat everything that has been said. I am the CEO of Pinit USA. So I am the general manager. I am also an employee of Pinit USA. And let's deal with first motivation. I have to get up in the morning and start my morning routine, which starts at 4:45 in the morning, where I get ready to go on my jog or in the workout room. And that workout does two things. It helps me channel my mind and focus on the day ahead, the vision of the company, and get ready to deal with all that may come and that is set to happen for the day. So I use it for that visualization purpose and to get my mind in focus. It's a spiritual run or workout for me. I'm on the road by myself for approximately 6 to 7 kilometers at 5 in the morning. I do that at least 4 times a week. If I don't do it, I go to the weight room. But I make sure Sheldon is motivated. I don't come and call the board up and tell them they need to get me motivated. Because then the board would have the right to say, you're the wrong CEO. I don't have to motivate you. You're supposed to be motivated to do your job. Find some form of motivation. If it's not for your daughter, it's for your son, it's for somebody, but you have to be motivated. You have to have your whys, and your why would tell you why you're doing this job, and that will give you the motivation to do your job. Whether it's intrinsically, or extrinsically, but your motivation has to come from you. If your motivation is coming from someone else, if they leave the job and move on, then what happens to your motivation? Self-motivation is the only motivation that has real value. You motivating yourself. It means no matter what happens in the day, you hold the key to how your day goes because you are motivating you. A bad drive doesn't spoil your day because you understand why you're heading down this road to get to work. So that covers the motivational part. If I take just segue into sport with it, the top athletes in the world don't depend on someone else for motivation. When Sha'Carri Richardson ran that 100-meter, she did it for her. She did it for her dead grandmother, probably. She did it for her family. But all of these things come from her. You can see it with these athletes. They do it for themselves. It's for their family. It's not dependent on what the coach or the manager or the team owner says or the fans say. You may have to win an NBA championship on enemy territory. Your motivation needs to be 100 on that day. Because for sure the stadium isn't behind you. but you still have to go out and do it. Lionel Messi won his World Cup in the Middle East. He didn't wait till it got to Argentina to win it because he would still be waiting. So motivation has to be self-motivation. Now I want to address you need this great manager. Yes, you need a good manager. You need a good manager, good strategy, understanding micromanagement and, not micromanaging people, able to delegate tasks, etc. But if that was all you needed to have a good team, woo, we would have 4, 5, 10 Amazons by now. It is not just that. A good manager, and let's take it back into sport, all the NBA coaches are good coaches. Some are great coaches. But why do NBA teams trade every season? NBA teams trade players to find a fit. It's not how much he scores or how well he defends, but does he fit into this team? Is he coachable? And this is the main point of this short. Are you coachable? A lot of people run about and ill talk the supervisor and the manager and the board. But you have to ask yourself, am I coachable? Have I found out the vision of this company, the mission? Have I embodied that? Have I really tried to learn my function? And can I do my function so skillfully that it enhances the next person's function? Because whatever function you have within the company, it affects the next function. If you're accounting, then hey, purchasing is affected by you, payroll is affected by you. Right? If you're purchasing, accounting is affected. Maybe sales is affected by you because you're purchasing something that they resell. Sales. If you're sales, you affect the company greatly because it's your sales that bring revenue. So everybody has to understand their role and function and perform it to the best of their ability. Everybody's not going to have the ball in their hand with 8 seconds to go or the last penalty to kick, etc. No, because you have a role. And you have to perform your role excellently. You have to get up, get to practice, be motivated to run those laps, to do whatever it is ahead of you in practice. Because that is how you become invaluable to your team. The players that are valuable are the ones that coaches know I can bring into my system. He will adapt to the system. He will adapt to the many other players. And he will become a valuable asset to the team. Are you a valuable asset to your team? In the NBA, sometimes almost whole teams get traded. And sometimes it's just because of their attitude. Excellent player, poor attitude, poor work ethic. All of these things are what is needed to make a good team. Not just a good quarterback. His defensive backs have to be motivated to take that bump and grind every day to protect him. And they know that, hey, I am one of the least likely to score a touchdown because I'm in the back here defending this dude. But you know what? I love this dude because I like how he connects with the wide receivers. And that gets us wins. And that motivates me to come out of practice so we can win more. It's not just about me. It has to be about the goal of the whole organization. And this is why I think school is so important. In school, you learn to work with others. In school, the teacher reprimands you when you have not done good work. That doesn't mean the teacher is a bad teacher. If no one corrects you, or you are above correction, then how do you learn? Your whole school life is about course correction. You didn't know maths when you were born, and someone taught you all of the aspect of math. Literature, accounts, physics, chemistry, biology, principles of business. You were taught these things. And when you got it wrong, you were failed in the test, and the teacher set you back and put you on detention, or put you in extra classes, or made you do it over. That doesn't make the teacher bad. The teacher is doing his or her job. And their job is to make you better. Now, who rises to the top? The one who can take the correction, take the homework, and go home and diligently correct it to get better. The athlete who's out there, whether it's hockey, whether it's gymnastics, who can understand that you need to practice this double somersault 200 times before the week is up. The coach is not reprimanding her or him. The coach is telling you you're not sticking the landing. So let's work on that landing. The coach may pull you up because, hey, you're hanging out late at night and I'm seeing the effect it's having on your practice the next day and during the week, because you're not resting, you're not eating properly. You're not focused on what our goal is. Sometimes you have to do like Jimmy Butler. Hey, this team is not working for me. Please trade me. Because he couldn't fit into certain teams. He didn't like their practice attitude, etc. And he wanted to move. He didn't sit in the team and bring down the coach and the management and the other players. He moved on. Because that's what adults do. Adults realize the situation is not for them and they change. You're not a tree. No one has planted you in this spot. You can change where you are. What you cannot do is enter an organization and change the whole organization to suit just you. If you like or you love this organization, or you like where it's going, you like the idea, then you stay here and learn. You motivate yourself every morning. This is Wednesday, the third day of the week. I've done weights on Monday, and I've covered so far 16 kilometers over the next 2 days. That is just to get my mind aligned. I've taken my meetings. I've met with some very interesting people on the internet. I've had some interesting online meetings. We raced in. We had one in the morning yesterday. From that meeting straight to another meeting. I need to shout out Carl Smith. I love your 7 points. My brother, don't give up on what you're doing. I love what you're doing. Those 7 points, I won't repeat it here. Anybody wants to understand what I'm talking about, contact Carl Smith on LinkedIn. But those 7 points are great points to work with. It will get you ready. But really important is you have to become coachable to make a team. Even if you're in tennis and you're not coachable, the coach will leave and you won't grow because you will be changing coaches often. You have to listen to the coach, whether the coach is telling you that what you did is wrong and it's not working, and to stop this and change that. This world is about changing and pivoting. And if you're not prepared to change and pivot, if you're uncoachable, it makes no sense all over social media, all when you're hanging out, talking about management. Yes, they are bad managements. Woo! But you still must be coachable and stay coachable and be prepared to leave the bad management Because if the bad management is entrenched in the company, then you have no choice but to leave. But before you leave, ask yourself and check yourself, how have I contributed to this relationship not working? And remind yourself that in the next one you go to, you have to be coachable. You have to learn what the organization is about, the vision, the mission, the culture, and become one of them. And in learning all of that, you would see where you fit. Strive for mastery in your department, at your table, at your function, in the assembly line, wherever you are. Strive for mastery. And just by mastering what you do, you would affect change in the organization. And that is when you can see, hey, if we just tweak this, supervisor or Mr. Jones, if we tweak this, this will move faster. And Mr. Jones has a right to, 1, listen to you, 2, to implement your idea, or 3, refuse to do it, because he can see that down the road, the next 10 stations will be affected by you tweaking your bit here. Understand that that's what management does. When you say X, they understand that when you change X, I have to change 5 different things down the road, and that will cause us to move slower. It may help you move faster, but it will cause a bottleneck at the end of the road. Management is about the vision. And management has the vision, and until you have that vision, you can't tell the ship where to go. So the end of it, great management needs excellent employees, learners, coachable people who are willing to embody what the company is about. Have a wonderful, this was Wednesday, hump day. I hope you have a wonderful race to the weekend. Enjoy the rest of your week. Enjoy your weekend. Keep your heads up. Tune into our podcast. We're on Spotify. We're on iHeart. We're on Google, Podomatic. We're in most places. I can't even remember all of these names actually when I come on. But our podcast can be found almost, we are on at least 20 platforms. We are on our website, www.pin-it-usa. Yeah, pinitusa.com. pin-it-usa.com. That's the correct URL. You can get our podcast there. It's on Google Podcasts as well. Follow us on LinkedIn. Follow us on Facebook. Follow us on Instagram. This was another one of our impromptu podcasts where we give you a peek behind the curtain. These podcasts are never scripted. They are brought to you straight from our hearts and our minds. We want to bring you within the Pin It family. Look out for our launch coming very soon. Have a wonderful day.